It's important to deal with people you know, you can work with, and trust. We're going to explain why that's really important here. Stay tuned for this one, everybody. Welcome, everyone, to Your Little Castle Show. We're back in studio here. My new friend, Rich Layton. And Rich and I got to talk a little bit about why it is so important to have just an integral, well understood. So often people get very confused about what it is they're getting. You make it real easy for people. I like your demeanor because you help people to realize, hey, here's somebody's. Can I say good old boy? We're the good old boys. Yeah. You want somebody to just be straight with you, talk in a language that you can understand. There's a lot of people use those fancy words, those $10 words. And that just makes you feel like, are you just trying to talk over my head? Let's just have a conversation. You're just right to it.
Yeah, and that you're going in to build a relationship. You know, right. From the get-go. My first time I go out and talk to somebody, it's about building, a relationship, and we want to build a lasting relationship for the rest of their life. Not just a one-time show. We come in and boom, do whatever, and we get out. We're not going to come in and give you a sales pitch and give you, you don't really know what you got. Or we wore you out just having a sales consultation with you.
Yeah, it can be very confusing because by the time you've been through this, you're going, what are they talking about? I just want to here's what I had in mind and make it easy for people to make that kind of decision. So, well, tell me then, and I've got my questions outlined here. So Rich is reading some of my questions. He likes this one. What's the big mistake that consumers make?
The biggest mistake is they choose price over their product.
Price over the product. Instead of getting that quality that they could have had,
correct,
because they just spent a little more money that would have lasted a lot longer, people get too concerned with that. Bottom line, as I've heard, I think this is the truth, in this, whatever state you're in the country, always the lowest price. And I'm like, why would you ever do that? If somebody's got a better quality product that's going to last 5-10 years longer, why wouldn't you do that? That's what you want people to understand.
Yeah, and exactly. You want them to understand what you're delivering to them, and because no matter what, like we talked earlier, it's going to be a shocker to them when they get the price of what it's going to cost to do, their wants and needs that they are and desires that they want to do. But it's a matter of making sure that it's all accountable and it's there, and that they're trusting that cost. Because if they're just have blinders on and they're thinking price and ignoring all the trust that you put in front of them, you're going to make the biggest mistake of your life. And it's going to be the biggest investment you're probably doing too.
They're going to have a big mess on their hands, and a lot of money gets involved here, but you want to make sure the thing is done to the quality and not just not cutting corners. We talk about it all the time. Yep. Being cheap can be very expensive. Cheap gets very expensive. Is that a true word?
Yes.
And so save a few bucks here, and now you've got something that just doesn't even function for what they're looking at. It gets the job done, and if you're just trying to flip this thing, so you got to be careful with the house flippers, because they're coming in and saying, put the cheap linoleum, put the cheaper whatever. Make sure you get the high quality stuff, especially if you're going to live there, right?
Yeah, you want to create lasting value, to what they're wanting to invest their money in. And the biggest thing is too, it's like any of us. We don't know what we don't know.
Right.
And if me as a professional trying to tell them this is what you have to have and guide them the right way, they don't understand that price. And they're just going back, and that's why I say it's kind of keeping them blinders on, and they're ignoring all those things that are going to create lasting value and give you a quality of life on what is the wants and needs that you want in your house. It's every day. You're experiencing it. It doesn't matter if it's just a bathroom or it's a big, great room that you want to do or whatever. It's a matter of you want to create a space that you want to create. And you want to make it comfortable, easy to live in, and easy to work with. And aging in place is a big thing nowadays.
Aging in place. Explain that a little bit, what you mean by aging in place.
Aging in place is, we're all getting older. All right. How do we accommodate? One of the biggest things that always is a conversation. Should they replace their bathtub? because they can't do the step over anymore. Absolutely. If you can't do the step and the shower works for you, then let's replace it to a shower. But rule of thumb is you should have at least one tub in your house. And most people do. And that you don't have to have a bathtub in every bathroom of your house. But it's like, okay, how do you make that shower work for you to where it's more comfortable? You have zero clearance now with showers. You can create walk-ins. You can do everything, and you can still create a wonderful space that complements your home. With it's not like you just built a hospital room.
Nobody wants that hospital room feel.
But you can do grab bars, everything, where it's very easy to use your bathroom and everything, to where it still looks wonderful, but it doesn't look like a commercial hospital room.
Well, I've been through that a little bit. My dad went through the stroke experience, and they had to remodify everything because getting in there's no getting into a tub. It's
right.
You roll into the tub. We talked about there's the what are the tubs where you can open the door? What do they call those? But
the swing doors.
Swing doors, yeah.
Yep.
But literally, the whole bathroom was redone now, and it looked great because they got it all done. But they still left it as looking more like a bathroom, not like the hospital. But they had the grab doors. They had room for him to hold on to, so that he could support himself to get up there. But these are the kinds of things that people need to contemplate. This is all done after he had the stroke, and he said, "All right, we got to make this easier because it's harder for him, and he's in a wheelchair. It had to be wide enough for a wheelchair." Yeah. These are the kind of accommodations you might help people to plan for too.
Yeah, exactly. And those are the things that, a lot of those calls come in and when something like that happens, okay? Not that you're planning on, okay, I blew a knee out or I did this and that. You blow a knee out, you still got issues where you got to get in the bathroom and still use the bathroom, the whole deal. Right. So it's just kind of that forward thinking that people are really nowadays, when they're committed to the home and they want to stay there, is okay, what's going to happen when we start getting older and we can't use it, And the same thing happens now too. We have them conversations with young people because of the same thing. They're active. You mess up a knee, you mess up a foot, anything. Now your quality of life has changed and you have to accommodate that.
Yeah, make it kind of a universally usable setup so that you're not dependent on that as much, and then now you can more readily get in and out of the shower. How important is that? I mean, being somebody who's been through a few injuries, a couple surgeries, had a torn meniscus. I'll never forget. I went in there, doctor. I was like, "Well, we got a few exams, do X-rays." He goes like this. He goes, "Nope, you tore your meniscus. He'll be in and out of there." And I got in and out, but I've dealt with that ever since then. And it always now I got to lift that left leg, and it recovered pretty nicely. But I played a lot more ball on it afterwards. I was planting on my left leg. I made it as a professional field goal kicker, if anybody knows that. Got paid to kick field goals. Missouri Monsters and fun stuff we got to do. But that's a lot of pressure on a knee. And so, but over time that wears, and now I've got to deal with that a little bit. And it's interesting because it's like when I bowl, and I don't bowl that often, but when I come back from bowling, man, my left knee is all puffed up, and I can't hardly bend it. Getting in and out of a tub would be impossible. I've got a shower that, thank goodness, that we had built. And you can help people make those decisions. There's reasons to have a walk-in shower for just regular use, too, before you get old.
Absolutely. Well. I did that myself. I have the personal experience. I remodeled our basement 20-plus years ago. And I built it, to where I had a very workable shower, the whole deal. And then when I tore up my foot here, I've been living in the basement for 3 months now. And
make use of your...
Yeah, I can use it in that. But it was always just the convenience of having a nice shower. We have our pool out back and all that stuff. It was just that, I always did it for convenience, never thinking that this is going to happen to me.
Someday you'll be using it.
Yeah. But I had them conversations many times with homeowners, but never, nothing's going to ever happen to me. Right.
And here you are. Well, practice what you preach kind of came down and impacted you, and now you're benefiting
exactly.
from it.
Yeah.
If you follow what you actually preach, good feedback there. Well, tell me, you said focus is on residential, obviously, but tell me a time when you were in a situation where you really helped somebody that was in a tough situation. How often is it the case that people don't realize they're going to have a time when things don't go their way, and somebody's got to step up to come in and help them. But I can only imagine there's been many times where you saw a situation, you said, "Hey, we got you. We're going to take care of you."
Yeah. Well, that happens a lot, and it's all kind of in different situations. A lot of them are when you do an evaluation and you kind of look at the house and everything, and you identify to them. It's like, okay, do you know you have all this moisture leaking here? You have serious problems, that we have identified, which, rotting of walls, and our termites, different things like that, where we've been able to catch it up front in that. And them are the things that you have to address and tell homeowners that, okay, this is all going on. We got to deal with these things. And they're so relieved that it's like, okay, I was focusing over here, with whatever it is.
Sure.
They just wanted a new front door, and they didn't realize the whole front wall is leaking. And that's a good example.
Right.
They want a new front door, and then you go in and you look at the structure in the basement, and you see all this moisture and how it's rotting, and you see it's happening in the wall, and it's because their siding's leaking and everything.
Wow.
And for 20 plus years, their wall sucks in all the rain, and then it dries out fast. You know how we change around here. We get wet.
You don't like
we
St.
dry
Louis weather?
out.
Wait 15 minutes.
Right. But, that process still with that wall have moisture in it, then it's going to keep rotting or starts growing mold. I've had many different things where people have been living in a home and never knew they had mold.
Never even
And
knew it.
they always thought it was allergies.
Right.
And it's like, oh, you got a serious problem. We need to talk to the abatement team about getting the mold out of here.
Yeah, well,
And
it's better.
the water's the biggest enemy of a home. Biggest enemy.
Yeah, that's true. I know water can get into places that most people don't realize, but once you've had any kind of gathering, a collection of water, mold will be there right away, won't it? Mm-hmm. And these are the problems you've got to address before you get into fixing and upgrading other things.
Exactly. And that all of those things have to be identified up front.
Well, that's why you bring in experts to do so. We've got one here in the building today, Rich Layton, everybody. Lots of good stuff you do, and the experience you bring, I think, is what's kind of extraordinary, because how often is it that people just kind of jump on whatever the first option is, and they don't even do that investigation to figure out maybe there was other underlying problems. But with a guy with your expertise, you're going to make sure and resolve those kinds of issues up front, because it's going to keep you from having the whole project done.
Yes.
Done with any kind of integrity.
Yeah, exactly. It is. It's something that homeowners should always. One of the good advice to a homeowner is research your companies, and then make sure you have time to spend with the consultant that you bring out to talk to, and make sure they're listening to you and not just trying to sell you something. You want a new roof, and that's all. I'm sitting here, and I'm not going to leave until you sign. That there's same thing. Roof, biggest problem. Okay, 90% of the times your roof deteriorates because of attic ventilation.
Really?
Yep.
Attic ventilation.
Yep. Versus the quality of the
They
shingle.
don't talk about that.
Nobody wants to talk about
Yeah,
that.
and then the ventilation's causing the moisture, and the moisture's leading to all the other problems you can
Yep.
get. Okay, we got a lot more fun to talk about here, everybody. We're going to be back. Some more fun we had out in the community here. Check out where we were hanging out, right out in front of Patios, where everybody should go after the Cardinal game. Check it out. Here we go. Hey, everybody. We're outside Patios. My new best friend here, Jackson. I knew we'd be good buddies because he's got a cool jersey on. Turn around, show everybody. Sure. Hey, I asked who's your favorite player. Nado. Hey.
Nado, baby.
All right, now, what do you, a lot of people, come on up here for me a little bit so we get that mic closer, but my videographer, I'm paying him double what I paid the last guy. So, the truth is, a lot of people thought maybe the Cardinals weren't going to have it this year. A little surprise. What do you think has made them the team that they are so far?
I think they got a bunch of young guys that are ready to play and keep going, man. I think they got they're enthusiastic. Everybody thinks they were down, and they're just coming out of the woodworks ready to go.
So, a lot of people got a little, there's no superstars besides Nado. They got some talent on this team.
Oh, yeah. Brendan Donovan, youngest guy, one of the youngest guys out there, best player in the league almost, man. He's got
leading the league in hits, I think.
I was about to say, leading the league in hits, second best in batting average out of everybody in the whole league, I think.
I will add this.
Maybe?
If you had a band, hey, Jackson, have you ever seen Brendan Donovan and Jackson at the same place at the same time?
I gotta grow it out a little bit. I gotta grow it out just a little bit longer, man.
Hey, stay tuned for more, everybody. Giddy up. Patios, everybody.
Yes, sir.
His name is Carter Rethwich, but in St. Louis, he's known as the Cardinal Cowboy. He's a well-known fixture in the stands at sporting events in the Gateway City. He's one of its greatest cheerleaders, a super fan like no other. When he makes his rounds at almost every home game, he shares his love for sports with the rest of fandom with a smile, a cheer, some positive encouragement, and lots of selfies and pics. But the Cardinal Cowboy was born of a tragic incident. Rethwich was an aspiring athlete in high school and college. He dreamed of playing in the big leagues, but those dreams ended when he and 3 of his college friends were hit with a devastating crash by a 5-time drunk driver. One of his best friends died. Carter suffered a critical head injury. The trauma put him in a coma for 6 days. The doctors said he was never expected to function again. Those expectations never came true. He fought back and finished college. He was determined to prove the doctors wrong. Among other inspirations, it was his love of baseball that kept him going. And from his near-death experience, the Cardinal Cowboy emerged. His goal in life became to inspire others with positivity despite the odds, to help people believe in themselves and achieve their dreams.
So after my coma, I realized that it was up to me if I was going to accomplish my goals, if I was going to reach my dreams. Despite what the naysayers would say, the people that were discouraging me, like they do everyone, it's up to me if I'm going to make it. Don't listen to the naysayers. It's up to you. You decide whether you're going to succeed, whether you're going to reach your goals. Dream, and then always, always chase your dreams. Never give up. Giddy up. Hey everybody, Cardinal Cowboy here. I want to invite all of you to be part of my new team. No, you don't have to put on a baseball uniform and be a super fan. Now, it would be a good idea to cheer for the Cardinals, the greatest team in the history of the National League. But I'm talking about the Gold Cowboy team. You know, I love to help people follow their dreams and reach their goals in business and in life. So that's one of the reasons why I'm telling you about my friends at My Metal Pro. They help people like you and I acquire gold and silver with a membership that lets you safely buy, sell, and store gold and silver. They make it real easy to get started. My Metal Pro isn't like the big guys you see on network TV or the big coin shops that take a huge commission. So become part of my Gold Cowboy team. Scan the QR code or go to goldcowboy.com and check it out. Giddy up! So lots of fun we get to have in the community there, and that leads to our book that I wrote, the foreword here, Magnetized Media, foreword written by yours truly, the Cardinal Cowboy. And we emphasize what it is it takes to get involved with this whole internet media. This whole internet thing is catching on. But check out this book. It's got lots of great information for you. With that, though, tell me, Rich, how has technology changed the world? Somebody's been in this for 40 years.
Yeah.
Back in the day, they didn't have software. You didn't carry laptops around to do stuff.
No.
How's technology changed everything?
Technology has helped us tremendously, especially the iPhone. You know, those are wonderful, having the cameras, everything on it. So everything nowadays, back in the day, we started out with just a polarized camera
Right.
where we can get our picture right out, but we only took a few because
It's
you know,
expensive.
yeah, expensive and everything. But now we'll take pictures of everything we can. We have, you know, a CRM now that you know, customer relation management.
He's the first person to ever say that technical word. CRM, that's right.
Yes.
I used to sell the heck out of that. We have one we recommend to people. But
Yeah.
client relations management,
Yes, and that
important to
it's
keep on tabs on what's going on with your
everything.
clients.
You can follow everything down from the first day that they called in to every communication that you have, along with, you know, scheduling, tracking, everything, and that. So it helps communicate with everybody in the organization along with the homeowner. They're able to see everything that's going on, and it's interesting. A lot of people like that. Okay, I can log in and, you know, see my information and everything, but, you know, they don't do it as much as you think they would, and that.
As you hope they would,
But they want to know the information. The same thing happens. everybody loves where we're able to have the internet. We have all the different ways to get information and everything that we need, but still everybody wants the human connection. That's the most important thing. And
That's why this show exists. We're a little tired of the Android, iPhone. We got all the technology in the planet. AI, I'm thinking about. But hey, let's have a real conversation with a human being that I'm going to spend some money with.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the same thing. There's so many communications that we have with, our texts, our, emails, all the different things. And that's all good, quick information to pass around. Right. But still, you need to have conversations in, not everybody's chasing an email trail.
A conversation, everybody. How about that? Yeah, I say if you ever want, I asked my mom this question. This is funny. I said, Mom, I sent them an email and I didn't get a response. She goes, that was your response. People want to lose you. They say, oh yeah, send me an email, which is code for I don't really want to deal with this. But if you get somebody sit down and have a conversation with you and say, let's talk through this and let's explain why you should go with this layout or this design or these different appliances, because now they get to really have a consultative perspective, because this is something that's going to cost them a lot of money.
Right.
And then we make sure and do it right.
Yeah, and that's the same thing that happens when our ladies do the design selections and everything with the homeowner. They want to take them to the different showrooms where they can physically touch the products, see the different things, see how a door works good, and really understand the tile they're getting, all the different things, But it's helping them along that journey, to where it's no big surprises at the end.
Well, then with that,
or halfway through it.
So that's part of that process. Tell me the whole process. If, say, most people call in. You say some people fill out the form, you can do it on the website, but most people call in, they schedule a time, and then you go out to their location, or they come into your location?
We go out and see them.
Okay.
And so we set up a time, and we always encourage that both spouses are there, and that, because then, you're hearing from the, significant other one on what's going on. And but at times that doesn't happen. But all that things. But we want both of them to be involved, or whoever. It could be mother. It could be anybody. Whoever's
going to be
making decisions and should know about this.
These are the things that
and go through it. So
all.
we try to organize it where we always have the main people there at the first consultation, and we always go out. I'll go out, or Jason will go out with one of our designers, and that. So it's a team right from the get-go.
Okay, so the designers get involved from the beginning.
Absolutely, first time out, and that. So then they're able to tell them the design process, how we're doing those things, and then I'm telling them how to build it and the different things. And so they just get that good team effort right from the get-go, and then it goes from there. Sometimes it'll go into a design process. Other times we will do a quick design and then get our trades involved to get them the construction cost of it.
Right.
So there's a couple different processes, because it depends on how big of a project it is.
Right.
And that. But the other thing we're always doing is talking about, price, where things are, because we have so much experience. We kind of have an idea of where a project that they're talking about is. Is this bathroom? They're thinking $15,000, and it's $30,000.
Right.
And it's one of those things, but we can give them an idea of where it's at. But it's still, they have to make the selections. You can spend a fortune in tile. You can, plumbing fixtures, all the different things that is a driving cost. But if you don't have that designer to help you, guide you through it, to where, you're out selecting things, and all of a sudden you got $10,000 or $14,000 worth of just plumbing parts, they're able to say, whoa, we need to talk to Rich too, because all this stuff is expensive, and that means our plumber's going to take longer to get it all in. It's not just the one cost of, well, I spent this for the plumbing fixtures, but
there's labor involved there too.
Yeah. So
And
that's what, always coordinating everything together.
Okay. Let's take a look at some of the work you guys have got there. You got a lot of great stuff out on your website. Take a look here. Yeah, go ahead. I'm going to go underneath portfolio. I'm going to scan here, and I'll show everybody. Here is our, there it is, the website and some of the pictures, some of the work you've got there. But I liked what you showed me, and all the way down here, there's bathrooms. That was,
Yeah.
and
You can see where bathrooms we've taken, enlarged the space, or just turned into the same bathroom into.
and here's some before and after. This is where you kind of got my attention. Here's a kitchen before. Here's an after. There's a bathroom before. There's a big difference there.
Yeah,
And
a
this
big
basement?
difference.
And one we talked about. This is kind of a great room. Is that what you call this?
Yes.
Tell me about that particular project. Why that was so fun.
Well, it was wonderful because it was really taking a really wonderful home and then just adding more of the quality entrance and great room that they wanted to bring into it. I mean, we did several different additions on this house, and that, but we really transformed a simple, wonderful home into, their wants and desires.
To a dream home.
Big thing is, every big house that they looked at, it wasn't what they wanted. It wasn't where the location is. They wanted all the different things, and they came to us to see if the dreams could happen in their house.
So they just
we did
remodeled
it.
the house that they already had. You guys took the existing structure and turned it into their dream home right there where they were at.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
and
right,
it
lots of
comes down to the the commitment to where they're at, and committed to the house.
Yeah, bring it to them. That's pretty cool. Well, tell me, what gives you the most satisfaction here as we finish up for what you get to do in the community to help families build their dream homes?
Oh, biggest thing is creating things that they have wants and desires, but they didn't know they could really do all this. They always think that, oh, I can really do this. They say things, but their dreams come alive once they really start developing a relationship with us and start develop the project. It's always one of those things of, can I really do this? Or, it's like, and there's always that doubt, but it's when they finally start feeling that satisfaction of, we're going to really get what we want here. And that
The dream life, the dream house is coming to reality.
Yeah,
And you
or
guys are
even the space, whatever. It's just a matter of it. People that remodel their home, it's a matter of they've been thinking about it for the longest time, and nothing's ever got them to the right team to pull, and do it. But it goes down to that. You have to go through that design process. You have to build the plan before you work the plan, and that's when they see the plan all done, and they feel good about it. They feel comfortable with it. That now they're really excited that their dreams are coming true.
Work the plan, everybody. Bring those designers in from the beginning. Rich, thanks for taking some time to sit down with us here.
Absolutely.
Hope you guys learned a little bit there. Stay tuned for more. This is the Your Little Castle Show. Check out these guys, sheacd.com. Call them 314-270-9333. Talk to Rich and his crew. They'll take care of you. Giddy up.